What is going on, your Giants fans? Another roster bubble video coming for you guys again. This one is going to be about the wide receiver position. This one is going to be about fellow Giants wide receiver Alex Bachman. Yes, he shares my name. I get it. But in this video, obviously, it's going to be one of them quickies, roster bubble video, profile, projection at the end, and then obviously who's competing with, how he's doing in camp so far. So, to give a background on him, he was an undrafted free agent in 2019, I believe, out of Wake Forest. I could quickly check that, but I'm pretty sure it's Wake Forest. If it's not Wake Forest, it's another college. But he was an undrafted free agent. He signed with the Rams, played with them in the preseason. Then he got cut by the Rams. Giants signed him in November of 2019 to their practice squad, and he's been sticking to the Giants ever since. He was a big guy in camp last year, but he did not make the roster. He made the practice squad. He actually appeared in a game for the New York Giants. I believe it was against the Eagles the first time around, mainly as a special teams guy. Number 80, number 15, which he wears now, was taken by Golden Tate. But after that, he was reverted back to the practice squad, spent all season there. And after that, they signed him to a futures contract, and now he is in another wide receiver battle that he has to fight uphill, not downhill, uphill. And obviously, I'll explain why I say that. He's got no career statistics, but once again, those, I believe, were special team snaps or something like that that he did spend with the New York Giants. Once again, he was in one game. So far, I'm going to give my honest thoughts here. As I always do on this channel, on the podcast, he has not impressed me so far in any of these preseason games. Now, sure, he's had some plays in training camp, but it's very tough to tell because we are not there. Sure, there could be videos and stuff like that, highlights, but video I don't think is allowed to be taken inside training camp. I think that's why they didn't have fans this year, amongst other reasons and stuff like that. But Bachman has not impressed me so far this preseason, especially in the games. He's done some stuff in camp, but he's fighting an uphill battle, and that was the situation even coming into training camp with all these stacked wide receivers, John Ross, Dante Pettis, David Sills, C.J. Board, all these guys that have had some pretty decent training camps and all this other stuff. Bachman at first and still is fighting an uphill battle, and he has not shown much to me or other people that he's gonna sit here and make a roster spot. We'll see what happens. You guys will see my prediction at the end, but once again, so his competition looks like this. I'm not going to say every wide receiver is going to be competing against him because obviously the locks are going to be Tony, Galladay, Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, some of those other guys. And he's been competing against, I would say, about 5 wide receivers this far. He's winning against Austin Mack because Austin Mack has not played in the first 2 preseason games. If he played in the first one, I missed it. If he played in the second one, I don't think that's true, actually, because he was injured. But, I guess the hope for him has kind of gone down a little bit because he has not practiced due to injury, or he's not been in due to some reasons that maybe we don't know. But last year, he was supposed to be somewhat of a glimmer of hope for the wide receiver position at the back end. I think he caught like 7 passes for 91 yards, had that big 50-yard reception from Daniel Jones in the Washington football team game. But, ever since, he's just been going slowly down. But the good thing about Austin Mack is that this is his second year of eligibility for the practice squad. So if the Giants happen to like the guy, they'll try to transfer him to the practice squad without him being claimed by another team. I think, honestly, Bachman is losing to Matt Cole. Now, it's silly to think, oh my God, Matt Cole, he hasn't done much in the receiving game, this, that, and the other thing. But I think he's, for a lack of better words, the Gunnar Olszewski of the New York Giants. And, a lot of people are saying, Matt Cole, he's playing cornerback, he's playing wide receiver, he's playing special teams. Where did Joe Judge get that from? He got it from Bill Belichick. Because what did Bill Belichick do? In 2019, and I don't know if he did this in 2020, but in 2019, in the preseason, in training camp, he put Gunnar Olszewski on special teams at wide receiver and at cornerback. Does anybody remember who Alonzo Russell beat to get that touchdown from Kyle Lauletta in the preseason game, in the final preseason game against the New England Patriots in 2019? That was Gunnar Olszewski. Now, Matt Cole, once again, as I said, he's been playing special teams, wide receiver, and corner. He didn't allow a single reception. For some reason, Kyle Lauletta did not target him, but Matt Cole made 1 or 2 tackles. He's made 5 tackles total. He also made that great special teams play that put the Jets inside their own 5. Basically, the ball was about to go into the end zone. He just gives it a small little whack, and it goes to, I think, the 2 or the 3 yard line. That was early in the game, though. That wasn't too late in the game. That was early in the Giants-Jets game. But, once again, people could say, oh, well, Matt Cole hasn't done anything as far as wide receiver too much. Matt Slater, I don't know if he's still with the Patriots, but he hasn't done anything in the receiving game. If he shows versatility on special teams and at different positions, he's going to make the roster. And I think the same thing with Matt Cole. I think this could be possibly the Matt Slater, the Gunnar Olszewski of the New York Giants. I know this video is not about Matt Cole, but definitely there will be a video about him, and that's why I think he's beating Alex Bachman, because Bachman is just a wide receiver. He's fighting an uphill battle, and I have not been impressed with him so far to start the preseason. But Matt Cole, he's playing at 3 different positions on 3 different sides of the ball. That's just my opinion. In terms of David Sills, I think he's definitely losing. Sills so far has had a total of 10 targets, 6 receptions, 80 yards, and a touchdown coming from Brian Lewerke last week. And the 2 other guys that he's been competing against is Damian Willis. I think he's honestly losing because he's gotten more receptions. Damian Willis, 3 receptions, 42 yards, a touchdown, and 5 targets. That touchdown going back to the first game against the New York Jets from Clayton Thorson, where he burned Corey Ballantyne. And then C.J. Board. I'm honestly going to sit here and say that, he's losing to C.J. Board as well, though Board did muff a punt last week against the Browns. He's got decent receiving abilities, decent receiving traits. We saw in the Bears game, I think it was last year, and a couple other games last year, when Golden Tate was out, when Sterling Shepard was out, when Slayton was out, or when one of those receivers was not able to produce, Board was just, hey, the number 4 or number 5 wide receiver, I can go in. He missed, I think, 2 games last year due to a concussion, but so far he hasn't done bad as a receiver. I definitely agree with that statement. He had a 12-yard reception that got the Giants to the goal line against the Browns, and I think he had 1 or 2 receptions, 1 or 2 targets in the first game against the New York Jets. So, honestly, I think Bachman, other than Austin Mack, is one of the receivers at the bottom of the battle. He's at the bottom of the can and really needs to do a better job within the next couple of days, including that preseason game against the New England Patriots. He really needs to get all the receptions he can. I think he had a key drop last week against the Cleveland Browns. And sure, you can attribute some of the throws to be bad if you're going to watch film or something like that and actually look up, how many receptions or targets he had and what the throws were like. But Alex Bachman, he has not shown me much within the last couple of weeks. He needs to show it against the Patriots. And do I have faith? Not necessarily, because I think it's going to be mostly David Sills, Dante Pettis, and some other guys that need to make the roster. Dante Pettis is also another guy I forgot to mention. I think he's, I would say, beating him just by a pinch, my honest opinion. But with that being said, I don't have Alex Bachman making the roster. I think he makes the practice squad. This is his last year of eligibility for it, so I guess they use it. If he's swiped by another team, he's swiped by another team, but I don't have him making the final 53. But if you guys haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification button so you get notified when the live stream pops video drops. Appreciate y'all. More content coming out through the week. Peace out. See you later. Stay cool.